Don't spin up.
Hate that. Need SSD everywhere.
Do you know what does spin?
You spin me right round, baby. Right round like a record, baby.
Meat spin, exactly.
Meat spin, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, audio started. Let's crank this thing off. Here goes. Begins in 3, 2, 1.
Scott, Terpster, and Dills. I thought it was kind of interesting. I just found out that Gary Heckholler, Hellscream, he transmogs his shoulders. Yeah, it turns out those shoulders are like some crappy Rage Fire drop that's pretty rare, but they're crap. What's up with that?
You're listening to The Instance.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Instance. Whoa, my volume went weird. Hey, it's episode 367 of The Instance, the World of Warcraft podcast, so you don't have to. My name is Scott Johnson. I'm joined by Terpster. Hello, Terpster. Hello.
Baby.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. I just thought you were just stating things.
Well, I could. And Dills. Dills is here. Dills is also here.
What's that? I thought you were just,
Yeah, no, you thought I was
Yeah, I am here,
Yeah, all right. I see where you guys are.
Is that a question in Utah, or
It's a small, yeah.
are we doing it wrong?
We're doing it wrong. This is all wrong. Yes, so, yes, what? You're going to say?
I was wondering if we can just get right stuck into it and talk about the biggest news. Obviously, the latest episode of Azeroth Choppers, episode 6.
Well, hold on.
We just jump right into that?
On Azeroth Choppers.
All right, do this properly here. All right.
I think you gotta put a new fender on the front. I'm not putting a fender on the front, okay?
No, you know what? We need to cliffhang this like 5 or 6 times before we actually get to it, though.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a good idea. Yeah. Hold on, yeah. I got music for that. Let's cliffhang it. How do you guys want to cliffhang this one? Give me something.
Well, we'll talk about episode 6 in just a moment.
All right. So here's.
But I'm not sure.
All right.
That's completely different from what I was expecting, really. There.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of more like dun dun dun.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. How about this one? Next, I'm not putting on a fender. Here we go. All right. There you go.
I'm so glad you didn't do the music for this, because I think Azeroth Choppers would be a far worse experience. Were you putting in songs from the 30s?
Wait a minute.
They're all like radio theater songs.
Back up, man. I'm not so sure about this. I think that might be better, in my opinion. Yeah. Throw a little old timey in there. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I mean, we can talk about. You know what? Let's go ahead and talk about the Choppers thing.
I don't think we should talk about it yet.
You don't think we should wait?
Save it. Let's save it.
All right. We'll save it.
Enough. But I want to talk about how we're going to talk about Azeroth Choppers. I think that's in the spirit of Azeroth Choppers.
Exactly.
All right.
We got some good news and we got some bad news. And the good news is we're going to talk about it.
What?
The bad news is not yet.
What's the bad news again?
The bad news is not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay, I have a theme for that. All right.
The thing that upsets me really is, as the guy who has to just listen to the music, I have to sit here wearing these stupid headphones, listening to music, and I'm just it's the worst.
It really is bad. Don't feel bad at home. Terpster's really got it the worst. All right, well, let's talk about what we have been doing. A quick shout out before we talk about what we sort of played this week. I wanted to mention somebody on Twitter named Vegas QC who's going through some rough stuff and decided the way for him to deal with it as he heads into the next phase of this dealing with his rough stuff is to download a ton of Instance episodes and listen to them as sort of therapy for that. So I just want to tell him I think that's rad, and we hope things go well for him. Without getting too detailed here, he's just going through some stuff, man. Some stuff. And I feel bad. When we hear from fans and they say, this stuff is going on in my life, I feel some empathy for him. So, so there's that. All right. I played a lot of Diablo 3 this weekend. Why? Not because I didn't want to play WoW, and I did play some WoW. We'll talk about that, but I mainly wanted to take advantage of that 2-year anniversary buff that gave you a bunch of extra gold, XP.
Oh, good.
Better legendary drops, all that stuff. So, Terpster, it's been a hell of a week, really. I mean, I've got stuff I didn't have a week ago, I can tell you that.
I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't necessarily seen a quality increase, but I've seen, I've got a hell of a lot more Forgotten Souls than I ever did before.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I'm just sharding left, right, and center, and it's beautiful. And a event goes well when the game designers go out and say, "Yeah, we're just going to keep it like that." I mean, I wish that WoW did that. I wish that we had, weird times when they introduce, I don't know, Headless Horseman, and they're like, "Yeah, it's so good, we're just going to leave him in the game. He's better than the instance was. He's better than Scarlet Graveyard. There you go. Just kill the Headless Horseman all year round."
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Cool.
I mean, a lot of other games do like free XP weekends or double XP weekends or whatever. But WoW's never felt the need to, perhaps because nobody's pining for, or they don't have they're not sitting around going, "Man, we really need more players. How about we double XP this weekend?"
They're not saying like, "Oh, we've only got 3 level 60s in the game. We need to get everyone else up to the cap."
Yeah,
that's the reason other games do it, is because their end game is where they want to invest their content, and their player base isn't there yet.
Yeah,
and so it's a cool way of doing it. And like I said, absolutely amazing. If you feel like, "Oh, no one told me about this D3 thing," don't worry. Like I said, it's in the game now. It's just forever.
It's permanent.
So
100%.
Additional legendary drop chance over what it was, and it feels good.
The golden XP boost that went away, but the legendary drop rate did stay at, what is it, 100% more than it used to be. So basically double what it used to be. Yeah, that's their fancy way of saying it was a lot more than it was.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels.
They should actually just say that it's 200% of what it was.
That's what they should say. The correct math.
Because 100% makes it sound like, it's 100% of what it was.
Yeah.
But we say 100% more. I don't know.
I think they said more, so you would imply 200.
It's two different ways to say the same thing, basically.
What they really should just say is double the chance. But that doesn't sound as good, though. That doesn't sound as strong for some reason, from a marketing perspective. And I want to. Yeah.
They do this in WoW, but they don't do it like for a weekend and then throw it in. They just flat out do it.
Right.
They're like, by the way, all XP is much faster now.
Or by the way,
is much faster.
Right? But they rarely do it the way this thing happened. Terpster was, they said, "Look, it's our 2-year anniversary, and here's the benefit of celebrating," and they make it very specific, and then a thing stayed. For WoW to do that, it would be like your example of the Halloween event or something, but also, I don't know, like it would have to be a thing where there was no intention to keep it around, like almost like if they just said the hunters.
Like, if like everyone shoots lightning to celebrate, the Norse festival of lightning.
Yeah. You know the one.
Thing.
Yeah. The NFL.
And then they were like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
We've decided that everyone shoots lightning forever now.
Right.
It's that level of cool.
Yeah, we don't get that. Like if back in the day, you and I would have had a weekend of no arrows to worry about. We just had all the arrows we wanted, unlimited arrows for the weekend only. And then on the Monday saying
the gold in the Olympic archery event.
Yep.
And then that's when they got rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that would be
true.
Cool.
They when they do the anniversary thing in WoW, you just get a little buff thing that you click on, and it's not that exciting.
Or a pet,
it would be more
whatever.
exciting if they were like, guess what? Legendaries everywhere, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, obviously, some of these things work better for some games and not others, and Diablo benefits because you've got multiple characters you could be working on. That game is all about RNG instead of knowing what set you're trying to get. Or you may have a set in mind, but you got to go kind of grind for it. Yeah. And these benefits all address that grind by saying, double the chance for the same grind, and that's a very sort of pointed, specific purpose for having a deal like this. Whereas in WoW, I feel like it's just a little more nebulous, a little more widespread. If they came out and said, "Hey, this weekend only, anybody can start a character at 50." It's not like a normal boost to 90, but it's something. Then maybe people would jump on it, and then they would be like them coming out going, "Hey, good news! Now all characters start at 50." That's a huge deal for them that they don't benefit long term from the way you would just increasing by double how many chances you are of getting legendaries. I don't know. It's a tricky thing, and I get why there's not parity between the games like this. But man, it was fun. It was a hell of a week. And
it did make me play it though. Had I known that they were going to keep it, I might not have been as passionate, I guess, in terms of making sure I was on each day, playing, neglecting my family, and just really going for it.
Yeah, I went from feeling comfortable doing like a solo rift at Masterful to, you know, Torment 2 by myself in that period of time. I got enough gear upgrades to do that.
It's a good world.
Yeah, I feel like we live in a good world now. Anyway, so that was going on. I also got kind of my head around my boosted Shami a little bit. Shami.
How are you playing him?
All right, so Blizzard put out those videos, which we'll talk about later, where they're kind of trainer videos for, and I feel like they had to do something. We talked about it on the show a little bit about how you just kind of left to your own devices and you don't really know what to do if you've never played these classes before and you boost it to 90, you're just kind of standing there bewildered. So I felt that way, and I thought, well, I shouldn't feel this way. I've at least got my head around you know, half of these character classes. Why am I struggling with this, or why does this feel weird, or whatever? But it did, and I think they did the right thing, which is to put out these sort of, mind you, very rudimentary videos, but videos nonetheless that explain kind of what your core rotation should be and encouraging you to try other things. But these are the 4 or 5 things you need to worry about all the time to maintain DPS or to do what you have to do to quest and Timeless Isles or whatever. And it worked on me. Like, I saw enough of that to go, hey, get in there and check Mr. Boosty again, because I haven't touched him really since I boosted him.
Mr. Boosty.
Mr. Boosty.
I like that.
And I did. And sure enough, I felt less naked out there. I mean, honestly, it's not... Here's the thing. It's not that different from the what has changed tab in the game UI that tells you what your core rotation should be. They've been doing that since early Mists, I want to say. That's all kind of the same as those videos. So in a kind of a weird way, they're just saying the same thing twice, and people either just don't know that's already in the game. But for whatever reason, it worked on me. That got me excited to go in there and play around with it.
I haven't actually watched them all, but I like watched a couple. But do they have them for each spec? Because if you're
not yet.
Shaman, okay.
They show an elemental, which is what I chose, so it worked. You know, that was good for me.
Yeah.
But they don't have multi-spec yet, and I suspect that that's either coming or this is to test to see if anyone cares, and if they don't, maybe they won't spend the money or time.
At the same time, like, logistically, it's a pain in the ass when they change stuff, as they do, because they have to go back into these and like update them to be like, okay, cool, this is how it works now. But I guess they have to just do that every, you know, expansion, like when they remove soul shards or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I mean, how many times has this topic come up on the show? But this idea that every time there's something new to do in the game, you are stacking that on top of the million other new things they gave us to do. And at some point, if you're a returning player who quit during Cataclysm, for example, this is all kind of at the most overwhelming it's ever been, even though I feel like they've made great strides in simplifying certain systems, removing things that were bloat. Certainly with this expansion, we're removing a bunch of things that feel a little bloaty. But as a returning player, it's still extremely overwhelming. And I don't know that that's a problem you fix very easily.
No, when I was watching one of these, it just immediately crossed my mind that this game would be ridiculous if you came in right now. Like when I came in, it was crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Because I didn't start playing right away. I started playing, I guess it had been out for half a year or something like that, or maybe even a full year.
Sure.
And it was definitely overwhelming at first, but I can't even imagine at this point we've gone through, you know, 4 expansions and all of the craziness that you have to just and then just be like, oh, well, now I'm 90. Oh, cool. So I'm right there with everybody, but I don't know how to play this class.
Yeah, it's frighteningly. It's just a huge sea of content, which is what we want. We're not asking for
that is what we want.
Less, and if you've stayed with the narrative throughout. And I don't mean just story, I mean, you know, all the nuances throughout, then you're okay. But if you are just hopping back in, it's overwhelming, and I have to think, there's no way they don't talk about this. I guarantee this is a huge topic of conversation to Blizzard. It's probably what holds back big, innovative ideas, because they're not ready yet, because if they pull those in, well, then that changes too much, and then you really alienated people. So they've got this balance of trying to keep everything, whatever they consider to be par, and then at the same time try to innovate on top of that without going too crazy, but then at the same time not dropping too much off to oversimplify it. Like it is a strange challenge that I feel like is unique to MMOs and maybe most unique to Blizzard, because they've got a giant player base. No MMO has had this kind of player base for this long, despite, you know, drops over the years.
But the goal, I think, is now still to grow that player base. Like they want to make new players feel like they can come into this game. And I think that there's got to be something to that effect having to do with the drop in subscribers over time. Is that, you know, you have this big boom, as it were, where we get over, you know, 12 million, and then basically now everybody's going like, well, I shouldn't jump into that game. Those are people who are already established there. I'll pick a new game that I'll start with, you know.
Right.
Because there was that feeling, you know, it's like, yeah, we're all, you know, we're part of this thing, you know. Now if you were to join, it's like, yeah, everybody's already knows what they're doing, you know.
Well, plus
they have to change that kind of culture.
Plus, wouldn't you say like okay, this may be stupid. I'm just going to say it because it's spilling out of my head in real time. So forgive me if it sounds dumb, but
here we go.
One of the things that I love, that I've always enjoyed about WoW, is I would get all kind of wrapped up in endgame and kind of be a little bit burned out, and I'm kind of in that space right now, and I'm like, well, what do I do? When I go back, even just to start a level 1 nothing and start working on that dude, I'm kind of all back in. And it's because I'm seeing this progression from nothing to something. And it's simple, and it's, ooh, a new ability. What does it do? How am I going to put that in the rotation now? You're kind of back to basics. And there's something about that I really, really like. It's what I like about playing other new MMOs when they come out, at least for the time they hold my attention. You know, because I get to just kind of, I mean, I've actually been having fun with that WildStar beta. I think the closed beta was kind of garbage. And I think this open beta is actually kind of good. Like, there's huge improvements. I don't know what happened. They hired a Blizzard UI guy. That probably helped. But it's cool. It's actually kind of cool. And when I'm in there, I realize what I'm liking is there's a fresh start. And in WoW, I don't hardly ever feel that fresh start unless I just one day go, you know what? I'm just going to make a Tauren Shaman for no reason.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's the invested history, I think, that keeps me in WoW. It's the fact of, like, you know, I've got 100 mounts and 100 pets and all the other stuff, you know. And I think it's the feel that, you know, I've kind of got a decade under my belt of stuff I've done. Yeah. And that the longer I
but don't you feel like Bill Gates at some point, where you have all the stuff, and yet if you just could go out and figure out a way to stop malaria or something, or bring better toilets to Africa, that's where your head is now, because you've got all the stuff. I know that's a weird comparison, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Don't you feel like there's, at some point, okay, you've got every mount, you've got every pet, now what? You know what I mean?
Well, no.
Yeah, but you still got to save Azeroth.
Yeah, exactly. There's still a billion things to do, I think. And sometimes you get done and you dabble in other MMOs, but you never, I don't think that any MMO can kind of get to the point where it's better or it's more feature complete than WoW. And I don't think that even the fresh start, like I played World Start and had a lot of fun, you know, kind of playing around in some of their kind of dungeon content, which was good. But I don't think necessarily that it is anywhere near as good as Warcraft is. And I've heard
people throw out WoW Killer, but I don't see it.
No, everyone keeps doing that. There's no WoW
exactly.
Killer
I mean, well,
there.
people love the term WoW Killer. It doesn't exist, sadly. But I think that the thing is that WildStar is different, which for some people is enough. But I personally think that is more so that you'll find WildStar caters for some of the kind of, it just gives people a distraction, I think, until Warlords comes along. I don't think we're going to see a scenario where it does anything significant to World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I guess I feel the way about it the way I do most RPGs, which is if I've been away for a while, and this is speaking just to the been away for a while people out there. If you've been away for a while, sometimes the funnest thing to do is just to get back in and play the core game, the original stuff. Start a dude and go.
The boosting to 90 thing, I don't think it's really even meant for new players, honestly. I mean, I think it's meant for some new players, but it's really just meant for people who are kind of sick of what they are doing and want to do something different, but don't want to go through the slog again, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I think some new players, like Scott, I think you'd mentioned your wife was like, oh, well, maybe I'll play now if I can just go straight to 90.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some people who have been maybe, I want to play with my friend who plays, but I don't want to, put in several months of leveling before I can do that. There's definitely those people out there, but I think for the most part, it's like we need to get some of these people back And that's what this boost does. You know, if I come into this game for the first time right now, I'm gonna still want to play from level 1.
Right,
you know,
right.
I'm not gonna want to miss out on all that.
No, you'd want to check it out, right? And it's fun.
All that stuff from there. Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Every time I play a game, I want to play all the stuff.
We have an update on your Twitch channel.
Oh,
sorry, I was getting a little intense there. I had to make sure to break the silence.
We got some good news. We got some. Well, this is just
better news. Yeah, you got your channel.
Guys,
back.
I got Blizzard on the phone. We can't be having this kind of music happening when they're on the phone.
Brilliant. So, you got your Twitch channel back? Nice job.
Twitch is back. Yeah. Good. So, I will be very careful not to do any non-gaming content from here on out. So don't worry, Twitch.
Did you? So what happened? You got banned?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got banned. Yeah. Non-gaming.
What did you do?
Non-gaming content.
It was.
Which was what?
Masturbating.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, not that. Oh,
that actually happened once.
Oh, gross! Really?
So, yeah.
Somebody was doing like porno on
well, no,
Twitch?
someone was streaming WoW, and then they were intimate with their lady friend. And it was, again, it's just like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, so just always be careful when you're
intimate,
when you're playing.
Really, like okay. I remember the guy who like took his wife's clothes off or something.
That
like
was
that.
the PlayStation Playroom thing.
No, it's just full on intercourse. Wow. Just after streaming some World of Warcraft, which again I feel like feel like is almost kind of part of our world now. I love that
it may just happen.
Yeah. It's just like well done, World of Warcraft.
That's fantastic.
I actually though
no other game has done that.
First few times I
streamed,
I definitely had to double check that my stream was turned off. Like I was like, is my stream turned off? I can't tell.
You always got to make sure. Always make sure before.
Because otherwise you get out of the wheelchair too soon and you're like, oh, there goes my donations.
Oh man, all my donations, man. I'm in trouble.
So in your case, no more pool or whatever it was, and
just Hearthstone, Heroes, World of Warcraft, that kind of stuff.
Sure, why not? And this show. Hey, look at us on
penetration.
The show. Sure.
I'm sorry.
Oh, geez.
Not that.
Good heavens.
Not that.
Well, good. Well, let's dive into a little bit of the straight up news today.
Big news of the week.
Someone wrote in and says, to Alicia, happy birthday and anniversary. Also, I'd like to take a moment to talk about Doghouse Systems. Oh, nice. I like that. DoghouseSystems.com sponsoring today's show like they always do. And if there was ever a better time to get a souped up rig, I don't know when it was. What? What'd you say?
What?
What?
So did someone write in?
They literally wrote that. What you see is what they wrote.
Was that so? They were trying to make sure they definitely got a shout out, so they could be segued into the sort of the promotional side.
I guess so. Isn't that weird?
I don't know. Or is it now just a catchphrase?
I don't know. I'm in. I mean, I'm in for whatever thrills you, folks. So that is odd, but I took it. I said, yeah, sure, I'll read that. Why not? Why the heck not? Go get a sweet Doghouse system. I love mine, and you'll love yours. Use the code Henry at checkout for double the memory. All right, we're gonna get to these. We talked about these videos. We don't really need to talk about them anymore. Azeroth Choppers. Hold on. We got to intro this. I just want to do this real quick. Hold on. Here we go.
Previously on Azeroth Choppers.
All right. I think episode 6 got it more right than it has been getting it, though.
It was amazing. I clicked a minute in, and the episode had started. I was like, oh my lord.
You got to go back
this
now.
It's exceptional. And then it was like, there was like a whole bit where like someone from Blizzard was talking through like how they rig and animate mounts, and it was actually relevant, good stuff that wasn't about. I mean, there was a little bit about the guy being scared of the buffing wheel and having to wear a hat. I don't know if I'm just cynical or too English or whatever, because I was just like, really, just that could have been 30 seconds I didn't have to watch.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, it's doing amazing. Like the views on it consistently across the whole series are huge.
Yeah.
And I think everyone does enjoy it for as much as we kind of tease it.
Oh yeah, I always watch it when the new one.
Enjoy it. Exactly. I'm like, oh, new one's there. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's weird to be in that scenario of wanting to watch some form of reality TV. But yeah, I think
was good because you got Blizzard stuff in there, like you mentioned. They talked about how they go from scratch to how they got to the final. What's the mount? The flying golem thing. That was Sky Golem. Yeah. That was really cool. And then they had more actual bike stuff where they were building the bikes themselves and looking at the design stuff on the bikes.
I wasn't sold on the sword handles on the Alliance thing. Like when they were chatting about it, they were like saying like, yeah, we have King Varian Rin's sort of swords.
Double
that look
swords,
amazing.
yeah.
And then like currently it just looks like a big V. It looked like the front of a car less so than two swords.
Well, they have to do.
Like
there's
a
finish.
mascot.
I can tell right now the finish work on that is going to be like the hilt and the sort
Yeah,
of
no,
guard
well,
But that's
and
why
all
I don't
that.
know exactly how it all comes together. Yeah, it might look amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
But there was just less fake drama and less dumb stuff in it, and I liked it a lot more than the other episodes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
This is what we were waiting for was an episode just about the bike in the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we kind of got that
but
finally.
it kind
got
of
it.
shows how you can make, like, was it 8 episodes total?
Yeah.
Out of what in essence could have been one. So it's good. It's good work on their
It's all
part.
about
And I
the
think
drama.
Yeah.
You gotta
Exactly,
build
I
that
think-
drama.
How many
I
total?
don't, I
Wait,
still
how many?
don't know which way I'm gonna vote. I don't know which way I'm gonna go.
Well,
Yeah.
how many Choppers episodes are there? Do we know how
There's
many?
been 6 so far, and I think there's 2 more, aren't there?
Okay.
Or not?
Let me double check.
I could be well out.
If you
Azeroth
go to the
Choppers.
site, I think it just says it. Yeah, there's episode 8 is the final episode.
Oh,
There you go.
I didn't realize we're only 2 away from the big ending there.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is like they had some pictures of the bikes that the mount team were going to start working on, and start making versions, but I don't know quite what. I still don't know who I'm going to vote for.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would.
I do.
Oh yeah.
I don't even care what it looks like. Horde.
Oh wow.
Well,
Don't
okay.
even care.
So far, I'm totally with you on the Horde bike. I think that thing's just looking badass.
I mean, yeah, I'm just a Horde player. It's just it's just where it is.
Yeah.
But the thing is also like if and I don't think that they will. I think everyone's going to get this bike. Like, I think we'll put both bikes in the end. They'll have some good news and some bad news. The good news or the bad news is, Alliance lost. The good news is you still get the bike.
yeah,
Like,
I think you're
we're gonna get
dead
something like that.
straight, right? Yep.
Yeah.
If they
But-
don't do that, I'll be shocked.
But just in case, I'm just going to vote for the Horde so that I have a chance at this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. The Horde bike is just awesome. I didn't realize they were
It is.
doing.
Cool.
I didn't realize that they had to. So this is some of the interesting bits. I didn't know that you put the whole thing together with all of its core parts. Obviously, things aren't completely finished and tweaked, but then you have to take it all
Yeah,
apart.
they take it all apart and then you send it off to get painted and stuff because each piece has to get painted and then there's like certain little tweaks that have to be done and then there's like a final build where you put it all back.
That's
together.
all really interesting to me. Like,
That's how it works. Yeah.
What's the deal? So there's like Orange County Choppers.
yeah,
Yeah.
Have a good guy bike and a bad guy bike that are Horde and Alliance.
yeah.
And it's got the same sort of swordy things on there.
Well, Orange County Choppers is where he used to work.
Yeah, this is
That's
where he worked for his dad there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So this
Yeah.
is because I think these were the bikes I was thinking of that existed before Azeroth Azeroth Choppers. Because they've got like a Horde bike and you can see like it's got like
Something Horde-ish, yeah.
it's got the shoulder pad. It's all it's nowhere near as
But it
dramatic
doesn't have
as
any
these ones.
logos, right? Oh, it does have the Horde.
it's got the Horde logo on, and the Alliance one has the cross swords. So it kind of
Wow.
shows a lot of these ideas were already in place. But again, I still don't like these sort of cross swords. They don't look that cool to me. But someone pointed out that in like episode 3 of Azeroth Choppers, they show some sort of quick steals of these bikes, just as close-ups. But I guess we get an idea of what they potentially are going to look like, or a bit closer to looking like.
It's really interesting that they align themselves with Paul Jr. rather than Senior, just for the convenience factor, because Orange County Choppers is in Orange County, and Paul Jr.'s business is up in New York, upstate New York. Like,
But
it's
that-
Orange
yeah.
County in New York.
oh, I thought it was Orange County, California. No.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. It's in Orange. There's an Orange County in New York.
Oh, I didn't
But-
know that. Okay, well
the
then.
Paul Jr. and then when they split off, they're like
Yeah.
down the road,
Right.
basically.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
But
right.
what's interesting, at least, is that these these bikes have a lot of these design elements already in, so you kind of see how constructed it is. In that they're like, oh my god, guys! So what I was thinking we could do is this sort of segmented armor type thing, but they are going above and beyond what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
But,
with the tank
it
treads
gives
and all that.
yeah, exactly. It gives you an idea of how cool it could be.
That
The swords
golden.
do look cool from behind, but I agree that they look a little awkward from like the side and stuff. They
Yeah.
just look.
They
a
just
little,
look tiny.
Yeah.
And they don't look very WoW-like. But again, we'll have to see what these ones come out like. They've kind of acid etched the blade or whatever to try and make it look all like runed and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like the way that the swords join the actual front the bike, you know, just a straight rod going in, or however they're going to make that work.
Yeah.
It
could have just done like one sword that's not a real sword that went straight across. Because I kind of like straight handlebars better anyway, but it just had sword hilts on both sides, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I mean, they're playing around with it. And I think, you know, it'd be interesting to see how faithful the World of Warcraft version of these bikes becomes, because it might be.
Oh, you mean the in-game stuff? You mean
the in-game stuff? Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they're gonna, you know, think, well, we can do that look a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
So just because they don't have the restrictions of it having to actually be real.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I'm just looking through all this stuff in that.
But yeah, so it's orangecountychoppers.com/good-guy-bike, or just go to their
I think it's gallery. They had to call it a bad guy and a good guy bike. I think that's
which hilarious. Is I find quite offensive, because hordes aren't, you know,
we're not bad guys,
bad. But you know, and equally there's probably more bad guys on the Alliance. But anyway, you know, like however you want to spin it.
I'd ride that bad guy one in a minute, but not the good guy one. That one's stupid looking. Whatever. So that went on. That happened. So next week on The Instance Talks About Azeroth Choppers, we'll talk about whatever's happening there. All right, class items.
Got the client on the phone. Don't say that. Don't show me. Oh my God.
I still think, it's that kind of stuff where you're just like, no, you're not. You're not on the phone with him right there. Then this doesn't work this way. Also, no medicine and no.
Face palm again. Actually, we didn't get it on that last take. You know, but that's the beauty of it. You know, all these things obviously are constructed, and it is funny. It's good.
It's all right.
But still,
how about this? Class items and how they might look. This is a new Artcraft post on the official site. Hi, I'm Chris Robinson, not me, but him, as a quote. Senior Art Director of World of Warcraft. Welcome to a special edition of the Artcraft focused on an idea that is still quite early in the inception phase: class accessories. For a long time now, we've felt that our character classes could use some more visual customization options, and we've heard you might be thinking the same thing. There's a little dig there. This is about this old relic slot that we haven't, or was it rune or relic, whatever it was, the little slot that we've got.
Changes on classes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it used to be stats-based related up till Kata, and then went away, got retired, and now they're thinking about using that again for character customization. So in the case of like hunters, they have an example here. This is all Alliance art so far, but the we would
finally get the quiver.
Yeah, you get the quiver, and the quiver would change over the levels. So at level 10, it's just real basic quiver. At 60, it's much more ornate. At 100, it's very ornate, and if it's active, meaning you turn it on, I guess, for effects and stuff. Although again, no stat improvements, but some sort of effect is turned on. It's all glowy and, you know, blue smoke coming out of it or something. And then they've got something for a paladin, which is like a book, and the book changes over time.
Librum.
The Librum, right, exactly. So, why did I call it a book? I knew that. So the point is, this seems like a cool idea.
Fanny pack for somebody. Who's getting the fanny pack?
That thing, is it the one with the bullets on top?
It's an ammo pack.
Yeah, it's an ammo pack for hunters.
So that'd be for hunters.
Pack. Come on.
And then you get you get a knife.
Hey, that's bum bag where Terps are from. Bum bag.
Yeah,
a bum bag.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because fanny means vagina over there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
That's why you never want to go.
Trust me, deals.
When I used to have my fanny pack when I was a child, because I had to keep all my baseball cards and stuff on me. I always had it on the front. And I was always confused. Why is it? I was like, no, I don't want to put this on my fanny.
Yeah,
put this on my front.
Well, now it makes more sense though.
Yeah,
right by the fanny, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. By my fanny.
crotch sack doesn't sound as
crotch sack is a little bit,
Yeah. They went with bum bag or fanny pack, depending where you are in the world.
Yeah, very offensive in some parts of the world though to say fanny pack. But anyway, so that's a thing, and that looks cool. This is actually kind of exciting to me because it means some customization, and these new models, would benefit from some cool little bits hanging off here and there.
They look really cool as well. The problem is I kind of then feel like, but what about like a warrior? I can equip a gun or something, like a ranged weapon or something maybe.
Yeah.
But, I kind of want to have like a cool skull hanging from my belt. I don't know, something. I kind of now feel like, how come Druids and Shamans?
They're going to. They only showed the first couple.
Hybrids and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see, if everyone gets something and how that kind of shapes up.
They talked about idols or totems for Shaman or something.
Was it Shaman? Idols for Druids.
Druids, that's what it was. Yeah. That's cool, right? Have a
But
little.
that's the thing. I'd love to. I mean, think how many Tauren, shamans have wanted that big ass totem. Like Bane used to have, or Cairn even. Sorry, just a big old totem. I'd love to have one on my back that I did nothing with.
Okay.
But I'd imagine it'd be more sort of like dangling at my side, or I don't know. I kind of think that it'd be fun for trolls to have shrunken heads and stuff like that. You can have lots of cool stuff
Moving around. Like I've been playing a witch doctor a bit in Diablo again, and they continue to be OP. But anyway, the point is, I love all their hanging off bits, like all their little things that are just dangling.
All their danglies.
Yeah, all their danglies. They got little shrunken heads, and they got weird totems, and their headdress stuff is just stuff falling off of it. And it's just great. So as they inch closer to a much better use of the current WoW engine with these new models and stuff, flourish it up, man. Now's the time. I think that's great.
Doctors like to accessorize.
That's right, they do, baby. So let's see what else. Who wants this Grinning Reaver mount? Have you guys seen this thing?
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I want it.
It looks a little awkward when it flies, though.
It's like driving a. Whoops, there's music in it. It's like driving a Zerg around this thing.
Yeah, I mean it's like the old Kurari, whatever they're called, battle mounts.
Yeah.
The red one in Anchorage.
You're not into those wings, Dills? Those look pretty cool. I'm looking at them now.
I mean, it's just it's weird because when it flies, like its legs are just kind of like hanging there.
Yeah.
And maybe what it needs to do is go into more of an aerodynamic pose with its legs,
like
or something.
kick them out behind it or something.
Yeah, or just like fold up the front ones and kick out the back ones or something. It just looks awkward.
Big old bumblebee, just dangling.
Yeah.
With its
and bumblebees are awkward, man.
Work. Exactly. It's cool. It does look like this is one we're gonna have to buy.
I want this one.
It doesn't look like anything that's coming in the new expansion. I think that this just looks like, hey, and now for the low price of $20.
25 probably.
My favorite comment on this YouTube post is the very first one, top comment that says, "I'm quitting WoW. F these microtransactions." So that guy's out. He's not interested.
Well, see you later, buddy.
That's what happened. They put a mount out, and I was like, I want it so much, I'm gonna quit.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm into this one. If this is one they're charging for, that'll make me sad because I probably won't do it. But if it was one I could earn, I think I might put on the gloves and go to work. On
I still think that they need to make it so you can achieve these in game. Because I honestly,
you've maintained that for a while. Yeah.
I think that the hardcore kind of players, I don't know how many of them are going out there and spending a lot of money on this. I think it's more the casual guys who are like, oh, that looks really cool. Yeah, I'm going to buy that because I haven't got any other cool mounts because they take time and effort to get.
Yeah.
So if they just do like a green one that I can get after 1,000 rated battlegrounds or something like that, then you ease up on the QQ. And it's like, actually, if you want the green one, that's ultra hardcore. You can get the red one, which is $25.
Yeah, and it seems to me, I think you said it a couple of years ago, something to the effect that they seem to be, or you were worried that they were going to spend more of their quality time and talent on the ones you pay for, and the ones you get in game would be less stellar. And I'm kind of, with the exception of maybe the Sky Golem, I feel like that's kind of happening. It's like some of the best looking stuff is the purchasable, and some of the other stuff that's been released is
that's
okay.
A little bit worrisome.
Yeah.
But then when I look back at it, I think like in Wrath the chopper was the coolest mount, and we had the Tundra Mammoth and stuff like that. But we maybe had like 2 or maybe 3, I guess, like Mimron's head and stuff like that, like cool mounts.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't know if we still have the same number of cool mounts in the game, and they've made more cool ones that you can also buy. I don't know what that sort of ratio is, but it's just one of those things. I don't think that it needs to be an either or. I think they just need to make it so that you can get these in game, a slightly different color variant, and then you placate your whole audience.
Yeah. The color thing is a good idea. I've always felt that way, because then you've got the guy who bought his, and you know it,
and I might buy one and then also farm one because I'd like to have both because I'm a completionist.
But I think the key here is if you make it something kind of tough to do, then it's still going to, I don't think it's going to cut into your sales of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if Blizzard's worried about making some money off this thing, still make a lot of money.
They should
make some really hard quest line that, or not a quest line, but something just kind of grindy, where the people who want to do the grindy thing can do it. It's a choice for them.
Sure. You ground your golem
most
out.
of the people are going to be like, no, screw this. I'll just drop $25 and then, you know, get back to regular life. And then there's the guy who's like, I want to earn this thing, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of which, we had a fan donate another Sky Golem to the Earthen Ring crowd, so we're going to be giving that away in the next couple of days on Twitter.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, watch for that. Something you don't have to work for, folks.
They're just so easy for everyone to make.
I know, right?
Not a problem. Just give them away.
Look at you working 9 to 5 every day on that. You were kicking ass. When I see you on your Sky Golem, I see pride.
I feel like my Sky Golem has a different color already. It looks different from all the other
aspect of pride. Yeah. No, what wasn't there? There was a Shaw of Pride, wasn't there? I think we killed it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. No, it had to go. Yeah.
It had to go. Some nice UI improvements coming to Warlords of Draenor. Some of the stuff we hadn't seen yet. The Dungeon Journal now includes short overviews of the fight for each role, which should help players that don't know the fight, so that's nice. Key binding UI has been improved to a tabbed list rather than a very long list you have to scroll through, so that's good.
Which is really good because I have been so confused when I'm trying to change my bindings. Like, where is the thing
it's
that
a
I'm
beast.
looking for?
Yeah, it's
where
a beast.
is it?
It's almost like it needs its own number squish is really what that needs. And then finally, I like this one a lot. You are now able to manage add-ons in the game without having to log out. These simple add-on control or add-on control panel add-ons do that right now. But once again, Blizzard is going to...
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you don't have to navigate an add-on to manage your add-ons.
Yeah, which is good. I don't know why that was ever true. You couldn't do them in-game anyway, but...
Well, you kind of could. There is a simple, turn it on, turn it off. But that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that was all you could do. So that's nice. So that stuff's getting more dynamic. And then finally, let's talk about... I know it's not WoW, but it's connected, and I want to know what's going on with Heroes a little bit, because suddenly it asked me to uninstall and reinstall the alpha, the technical alpha. Now, it's an alpha, so, we're not... No one should have expectations of what retail games behave like when we have alphas, but they obviously did enough to require an entire reinstall, and Dills, you had some time playing it. What's the big whoop? What's the difference?
So you clearly haven't turned it back on then, huh?
I haven't, no.
Okay. So
I reinstalled it and put it that way.
They redid the entire UI. They redid the entire UI. So basically the whole game looks completely different. Like it's still, it's still similar. It's still the same. You're fighting on the same basic maps and with the same heroes and all that, but the mini map has changed. The scoreboard around you has changed. There's a party little area for your party now. All the warnings and stuff. The chat is moved. You now have like a legit interactable with characters screen. So there's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was so much stuff, in fact, that they just had to have you reinstall the entire game. I'm sure it was just like a completely different build, and that's the thing. It's not something where they can have you just patch in, fix the couple things. It's just, no, this is a whole new build. You got to reinstall the whole thing.
But core gameplay and stuff, you're not feeling like things have gone crazy.
No, they overhauled a bunch of characters. They added a stupid Murloc, and that's kind of messed things up.
No one's happy about that Murloc. You're not the first person.
The guy playing it is incredibly happy about it. Right. But yeah,
he's a bastard. He's a troll player. He really is.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
Like he isn't. Like Murlocs are meant to be in the game of all their games. Murlocs are a pain in the ass. Yeah. I just think it's.
Yeah, I never thought that they were like a pain in the ass in WoW when I was playing WoW.
It's just annoying.
Like, a lot of little guys. They kill them. They're pretty easy to kill. Whatever. It's no big deal. Yeah. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, these guys have to be a pain in your butt. They just have to be the most annoying thing in every game that we put them in. So yeah, not exciting for me that's there, but we'll see. I think they might change that character a little bit. It's a little crazy right now.
It's gonna get tweaked.
But the game is incredibly awesome right now in all other respects. It's just so much more improved. And this is not going to be the last time we get this kind of a thing. I think you'll probably see some more uninstalls and reinstalls. So
continues to be. We're not going to talk about it on the show too deeply, although maybe I'll do some separate panel type discussion. But there's a lot of swirling controversy around Heroes because of some Dustin Browder comments, but also Blizzard at large because of some Rob Pardo comments here recently regarding Blizzard and how they think about whatever female roles in games, gender issues in games. hiring practices of women and this kind of stuff. It's been a big, huge stink on the internet. A bunch of Twitter stuff, and I know it seems shocking that on Twitter things would get a little crazy, but they've gotten a little heated. Like I said, we're not going to talk about it a bunch here, but it's interesting because Heroes is kind of at the center of this conversation.
Really, I missed all of this.
I'll send you some links. It's kind of it's. I mean, there's a lot you could say and to be said about that kind of subject. I don't think the instance proper is a place for it, but you guys should get your teeth in it and see what you think because it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we had a show last night, Into the Nexus. So anybody who's into Heroes, we actually do have a show. And I believe, is it on FROGPANTS yet?
It should be if it. Oh, you know what? It's not. It's going to take, but it's taken the place of the hiatus Starcast, so it will be.
Yes,
yeah.
That's correct.
I just need to get it in there.
So it's it's a show, me, Garrett, and Kyle, and we talk about nothing but Heroes, but we just only talked about the game, so we missed completely out on the controversy. So
yeah, you should dig that up and check that out.
Opera side of things, yeah,
it's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit.
It's like
anyway.
The first 5 minutes of Azeroth Choppers. We just delved right into the bike making. Is what we did last night.
Yeah, we did, right? I know, because previously on Azeroth Choppers. All right, let's dive into some this here, right here.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Why, it's the town crier.
It was all quiet at first. Nick just had his 14th birthday, so the town crier turned 14, and he sounds nothing like that kid that we just heard.
His first birthday without an appendix.
I know, right? First one, that's
wow.
right. Yeah,
it's a special one.
Gone.
Yeah, that is every boy's favorite birthday they ever have.
That's what it is.
I think he's slightly disappointed that he recovered so quickly.
Oh yeah,
because
he wanted a little more gaming time.
Well, he liked this the girl sympathy and the cards and the whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes,
that didn't.
Remember when I had my wisdom?
Sorry, ladies.
Because he can.
You want to see the scar? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
He can jump on
it goes
trams.
all the way.
He can't do it.
You should see the other guy.
Yeah, the gummy bear-sized useless organ I got rid of. Anyway, so this is the part of the show where you can call us and you can leave us voicemails, and you can also send us emails and we read them. 206-202-3969 is the phone number to call and leave a message. 206-202-3969, or you can email us your attachments and or emails to theinstance@gmail.com. Let's start with a couple of calls. We got one about this.
Yeah, hey guys, it's Dunkelman here, level 87-ish from Cardiet. I've been totally away from the game. I bought Mista Pandaria, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe it was a year ago. Played for a couple months and pretty much have no idea what is going on right now. So I'm wondering, for a guy who's going to get back into the game, I'd take my guy to 90, right away, so I'm ready for the next expansion. Do this Timeless Isle thing, which I haven't even touched. Or should I, get one of my level 50 alts and do more of the game? I honestly have no idea what's going on and just need a little help from my friends over at the Instance. Thanks a lot. Talk to you.
Okay, so we talked some about this earlier, but to me, the core issue is when you come back into the game at 87 and try to pick up where you left off, there is a big bunch of intuitiveness that leaves. So you don't automatically, most games you get in, you go, okay, I know what I need to do. I got to go do this, this, and this. And even if you've forgotten, haven't played it for a while, and other games suffer from this. If I'm going to get back into Assassin's Creed 4 in the middle of the story, I'm not going to remember anything. I'm not going to remember all that stuff. I popped in,
after Terps was talking about Skyrim, I popped in Skyrim the other day and loaded up my character, and I was like, well, crap, where am I going right now?
What?
Yeah.
How did that Terpster?
I remember killing dragons was a big deal.
Terpster, I know there's a whole series with the mods and stuff, and I haven't watched it yet, but what was your experience like? Did you start fresh? Was that the whole point, or did you use an existing character?
Well, I used the mod that gave a different starting experience because I didn't want to sit in a whatever
back of the carriage
exactly for 3 minutes,
and then maybe get exactly probably then, not
exactly walk around and who are you? You're not on the list. I'll make the character like that. But
who's this weird cat guy that I've never seen before?
So that kind of gave me enough impetus to jump back in and do something a bit different. I mean, past that, it's obviously very much the same, like all the other quests. There's mods that add in completely different quest lines and followers and companions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good fun.
But if you'd have gone back in, like,
well, I went back into my original save that I had on there, just because I thought, I fancy playing this, and I was kind of stuck on this quest that must have bugged out in some way, because there was a quest marker saying I had to be at this place, but nothing happened once I went to that place. And all of it just kind of I just thought, like, I don't know what I'm doing. None of it seems to work. I'm confused. I think this should work, but it's not working. And that was the sort of thing that just meant for, not a fantastic experience. So I kind of re-rolled. And I think that happens in WoW. Like, people jump back in.
Absolutely.
It's like, I have no idea what this does.
Yeah. I would recommend to this guy to get something to 90 and just play around a little bit at 90, so that you're kind of ready for the next expansion to hit right away. If you're getting into it so you can be ready for Warlords, then get something to 90. You're only 3 levels away. Just do a bunch of questing.
Yeah, go do your
get it, like Timeless Isle. Sure, fine. That's pretty self-explanatory. You go there. There's some quests. You get them. They tell you where to go. It's not like it's going to be overcomplicated to do that. But, Mist of Pandaria, I wouldn't suggest like going through and trying to, be a completionist about everything that's happened in Mists. You're not going to need all that to just start playing Warlords. So
no, but do it. If you do a monk from 0 to 10, just to see that starting zone and experience that part of the story, that'll take you no time, and that could be a great way to kind of get yourself back in.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, play a Panda, and get in there and check out the original Pandaria story, because that's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good stuff.
I wouldn't mind even seeing that again, and I've seen it. So I saw it in the beta, and I saw it again when the game came out. So doing it, it's fun. It's good. It's a good little story. You're going to see a bunch of cool stuff. It's not hard. You'll just tear through that business. Yeah. And you'll get to hang out with Garrosh Hellscream for a minute, which is always fun.
Spoiler alert, turtles.
Spoiler. Oh, yeah, turtles everywhere. In fact, turtles are so everywhere, it's almost as if you're on a damn turtle. Spoiler!
Almost like that. Almost like that.
I think by saying spoiler, you really do call out the fact that you've spoiled it. If you didn't say spoiler, people would be like, okay, that sounds interesting.
Yep.
And they'd only be at the point they'd be like, oh, actually, I already knew this. But obviously, by using the term spoiler so readily,
I'm going to do this every time I say a spoiler. So I'll say it was in that one movie, the lady was actually a dude, and then I'll say,
oh shit.
I'll do that every time afterwards.
Okay, that'd be better.
Is that fine with you?
By the way, I have an opinion about spoilers. I don't know if you guys share this, but
go for it.
If you have not watched something and it's been like a week or something like that, you have given up your right to be pissed when you find out about it later.
Oh, really? Game of Thrones spoilers are A-okay as long as you haven't watched it that week.
No, but I mean, if it's that important to you, you would have watched it.
All right. So one of the most spoiled shows in the world, or one that has the most fear of spoiling, has been Breaking Bad over the last few years, all right? So the creator of Breaking Bad, we talked about this on TMS, the creator of Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan, came on a radio show, some national radio show, NPR thing, and said, they asked him the question, when is something considered a spoiler and when is it out of the range of being a spoiler? And he thinks 2 weeks is the answer. He thinks 2 straight up weeks from
Arnold Schwarzenegger
air date to take the air date and go exactly 2 weeks later to the time that air date. Anything after that is fair game in his mind.
I feel like, though, that's even too long. Like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, it's deleted off my DVR because other stuff has been recorded. You know,
right?
It's like a few days worth of DVR time on there.
To me, you and Terpster and everybody else in our kind of circle of friends, that all seems excessive 2 weeks. But I think if you're going to pat that out a little bit for just the general public who don't take Game of Thrones as seriously as we might, that I think 2 weeks is generous. It's good.
If they don't take it that seriously, then why do they care? If I what you're doing is you're making it so that I can't talk about something that I want to talk about, and so you're actually a spoiler, not me.
Podcaster
you're
problems.
You're spoiling my good time because I don't get to talk about something I want to talk about because of you, because you can't find the time in your busy schedule to watch a damn show that you care about.
Right?
No, I disagree with that.
All right, Terpster. I want final word from Terpster.
By the way, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
He's somebody's.
He's the blind neighbor to the kid in the Sandlot.
I think we're all someone's father, really. If we think the Force joins us all together, it's a collection of tiny microbes
that's right.
within us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But the spoiler thing, I think, like I said, it's only really when you call out a spoiler is it known. And past that, like, what happens if you've got like a family thing going on and you can't watch it? I think that could last.
Okay, so if you have a funeral,
it's your responsibility not to go to online forums and stuff. That's on you, man.
But go back to let's be a podcast listener for a second. Let's say that you and we're in here talking about what happens to Garrosh Hellscream at the end of Christy Golden's book, which I'm reading right now.
Okay.
And I have not quite finished, but let's say Dills has, and Dills suddenly blurts out, "Well, that part when Garrosh, became an elf and then set himself on fire to protest or whatever." I know exactly. So what we've
tell me this
because we've not put out any sort of warning about a book that is I don't even think in every country yet.
Sure.
They are subject to it without meaning to be. They didn't have any kind of warning. There's no way to erase it.
In that situation, I totally agree because we're talking like if someone's listening to the instance, they're not expecting us to be talking about a book, right?
Yeah.
Like what happens at the end of this book.
Right.
And if we talk about some random movie that just came out and I just blurt out what happened at the end, the whole time he was actually Bruce Willis. Like then, it's like I get it. And if I'm talking to just one person and I say like, "Oh, have you seen the new movie?" and they say, "Oh, don't tell me because I haven't seen the end." That's fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm just having a conversation in the forums of a thing, the Walking Dead forums or something, and someone's in there like, "You didn't put the spoiler tag on there, and now I know that there's zombies," and it's like, well, I'm sorry, man. What are you doing on the damn forums then? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm sick of getting in trouble, and I don't think other people should get in trouble. Just it's on you.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Okay.
Take
Fair.
responsibility for yourself.
You've laid down the gauntlet here. I get it. I see.
Send all your angry emails. Spoiler alert, send your angry emails to Dills.
All right, he's the one. All right, so I just want to know what happened to this guy. I'm going to play this call real quick because I don't know what happened to him.
Hey, this is Matuba from Madoran. I was just wondering what... Damn it.
Okay, what do we think that was there?
I think he got attacked by a dog.
Was that a dog? Because the damn it at the end makes it. Let's hear that one more time.
Hey, this is Matuba from Madoran. I was just wondering what... Damn it.
That guy made my day. So, thanks, man.
I hope he's okay. I mean, usually when you say "damn it" in such a casual manner, it's not an emergency. So.
Yeah, I can't tell if he's faking it or not, but it's still.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I just suffered a fatal wound.
Oh, bleeding profusely.
Well, that's put a dent in my enjoyment of today.
Yeah, I can't ask my question about why gnomes are never in the cinematic intros now.
Because I'm bleeding profusely.
What's going on? Well, a couple emails, quick ones. Got one here from Trolls. He spells it Troels. That's creative. I was wondering if you guys think we will see a revamp of the old mounts, the Aquamarine Battle Tank, Netherwing Drakes, and similar upon the race revamps in the future. Or is this too big of a job just to please the minority group of mount collectors? Thanks for the amazingly funny and listenable show that I would listen to, even if you guys were talking about Macaulay Culkin for the entire 90 minutes. Speaking of which, he's in the news.
Is he? For
yeah,
what?
he. Hold on, we got a theme for it.
Ryan Gosling then wore a shirt of him wearing his shirt, and then he wore a shirt of that shirt.
Yeah.
Then Brian wore that shirt picture again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Then somewhere in the middle, like exactly that, it went. Bwah,
yeah.
And
you didn't know if it was real or fake at some point too. It was like, oh my god, how much of this is photoshopped? Yeah. Who's real? Is that really Macaulay?
Is that Macaulay Culkin's my totem, and so it was like nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's real or not. Well, it's crazy.
There's your Macaulay Culkin minute, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't think so.
Do, Wind Riders and like
early stuff, yes,
and stuff.
Yeah,
so I've seen
that can't like walk in the walking zones or something, right? Yeah.
Isn't it going to be like one of those bridges around the world where everyone says, "Oh, when they're done painting it, they got to start painting again." I imagine the whole thing. Often you find out actually that's not true, and nowadays paint is so great that you don't have to do that. Yeah. But I would have thought that Blizzard's going to get around to everything eventually because they'll have to.
Yeah.
But as to when, who knows?
Well, I mean, people. So Henry, my cat, went from 3-polygon Stranglethorn Veil version to some hot thing I found in Pandaria, and he's just a cat again, saber-toothed cat again, but he's the high poly one. I kept both for fun, just to pop one out occasionally, but they did that kind of under the radar. I mean, they'll just do these updates to some things here and there so that hunters can tame pets that are cooler versions of something they already liked. So maybe those other things will get some treatment, but I would actually argue anything from Wrath forward, pretty good looking. I don't feel like those proto drakes look like crap. I think they look great.
No, but it will be. I think there will be some detail done, but I don't think it's going to be extensive. I think they'll just go back and they'll just kind of tweak them up a little bit. But it will be weird if you bust out your Nether Drake when you're on your like crazy new orc model. You know. That's going to look bizarre. So I think we'll see this at some point, but I don't think it's a priority at all. No. And I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time on this.
Yeah. So there's that. Got one more email here from, let's see, skipped ahead there. This is from the ska fan. He likes some ska, I guess. Will I get to play a brown orc in WOD? My gut says no.
So?
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
Oh, no?
Well,
I don't know. They talked about it, didn't they?
They
talked
did.
about doing these different options and having like a wild hammer and a
Because
dark
there's so many brown orcs out there.
Yeah, but you can't start a brown orc in Duratar.
Why not?
Well, isn't that all contrary to the story and where the brown orcs
Yeah,
hail from?
but they could be like this one came through the dark portal. Yeah, there you go. He didn't drink of the corruption. Done.
That is the worst intro animation voiceover I've ever heard. Yeah,
I think it would be cool if they
came
did.
through the dark portal.
I think it would be cool if they did
not drink of the corruption.
Look, I have a job for somebody in the community. Somebody go
right.
video. I could even do this. Maybe I'll do it. But somebody go capture the intro for the orc area.
Okay.
Have Derpsters say that exact thing he said while the flyover's happening through Duratar. Replace the dude that's going, and the brave orcs, and blah, blah, blah. Get rid of that. Put Terpster's weird little...
10,000 years since the last time anyone listened to this.
I would put that on 10 YouTube channels. I would enjoy that so much. So somebody do that, please. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe whatever. It's cool if they do. I'd be a brown orc.
I think it would be cool, and I think that it allows people to kind of RP up a backstory. That's sweet. You know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I would turn Gerp brown. He's been green so long. I don't know if I could. Or if I have the heart.
But you could be like that he found an arcane way to truly free himself from the corruption of the demons.
Yeah.
And now you're back as a primal orc, and you're stronger than you've ever been, even though the reason they drank the blood was to get stronger. But now you're even stronger. I'd love it. I think it just adds a whole extra dimension of doing stuff.
All right.
I like it.
But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I don't think so, but
No.
I wouldn't mind.
All right. Well, time will tell. I think that leads us straight into this business right here.
The drop of the week.
Drop of the week brought to you by GameTimeZone.com, where you can use the discount code WARCRAFT for 5% off at GameTimeZone.com. So, found this article kind of interesting on Blaster.com. That's BLSTR.com, like Flickr, like those kind of. Remember that was a big rage in the mid-aughts.
Oh yeah, you just put an R on the end, like with a C.
Sure.
If you're being really cool.
Kind of like, Reddit sort of did that in their own way. But anyway, how science can tell when dudes are pretending to be women in World of Warcraft or other MMOs and why they do it. Here's a blip from it. Researchers across the United States and Canada from 5 separate universities analyzed the behavior of 375 gamers playing a custom World of Warcraft quest. Their goal was to analyze player behavior based on gender, with a focus on how they will follow or buck gender roles created by societal expectation. It's real scientific like that, the talk of this thing. And what they discovered is that there are certain behavioral differences. For one thing, men are much more likely to play as the opposite gender than women. 23% of men played as women, while only 7% of women played as men. I think I kind of already intuited that, but
mind blown.
They get into why and what that might say or mean or whatever. Some of it's kind of surprising, especially the dudes playing ladies thing isn't just all about guys wanting to stare at the butt of an avatar.
Dude looks like a lady.
That's what they all say, though.
That's what they
like
say.
A common thing, like,
Sure.
I don't want to look at a man butt all the time.
Sure.
Like, are you
man,
staring at the butt of your character the whole friggin' time you're playing?
The whole time. I play with a lot
I'm
of
honestly looking at all the other stuff. That's going on.
And they talk about why men might choose always to play men. Like, I never played female avatars ever in Diablo or WoW or anything else. And it's not. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't do it. I just don't think about it. I want to
play as like something that's closer to myself.
Yeah, who I am. I have a wiener. I want a wiener wearing guy. Doesn't make sense.
I want to imagine it's my wiener right there when I'm watching.
We get a wiener customization screen so I can make sure that it's my wiener that's in there.
Why not?
That's good.
I'll play with Diablo friends who are playing ladies, and it always just hits me. Oh, he's playing a lady. It kind of doesn't even occur to me that I could do that. Like, I know I can, but I don't ever think about it.
Is it because you always like to think it's you? Actually, that is you.
In a way, yeah.
Suspension of disbelief of like, well, it can't be me fighting these demons.
Right.
I've got breasts.
But on the other hand, if it's a narratively driven game like, let's say, Tomb Raider, I can play Lara Croft and feel good about it, and I never even question that either. It's not like, man, I sure wish she was a dude. It's not like that. It's just...
I do, though.
And in RPG, the whole point of giving you gender choice is part of the experience of you get to live your own adventure, and I tend to want to live that adventure as an exaggerated version of me. So my guys are usually super tall. They're usually... Actually, I always go...
Attractive.
I'll always make them... Like, in games where I can, I always make them black. Is that weird? Did I do that?
No.
What does that say about me?
That might be weird. I don't know. It depends, really.
I think they're cool, and they look great, and they're kind of mysterious, and they're back in the shadows, and they don't want to mess with anybody, but they're all about good and justice and everything, but leave me alone, because I could be trouble.
Did you, grow up really liking Steel as a comic book hero?
No, I hated Steel. I thought it was awful. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah,
it's the worst thing ever made. It's
my favorite movie. So what should we say?
Spoiler: it's Shaquille
I like the bit
O'Neal.
where he makes all the traffic lights go green.
Spoiler: it's really bad.
It's so cool, Shaq.
That is a dumb power. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting read. We'll link it in the show notes when they appear on the site, so you guys can check it out. But it's how science can tell when dudes are pretending to be women in MMORPGs. So even just on that level, if you want to see if you can detect when they're doing it, maybe this article will help you to that end. And that's it for today's show. We have done it. We have come, we have conquered, we have done all we have come to do. Let's do a little round of shout-outs. Terps, or anything you want to pimp, push, press?
No. Just keep on being awesome, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah, do that.
There you go.
Well
there
done.
you go, guys. Be awesome.
Keep watching Terpster's videos because they're great, and he's not a self-promoter much, and probably doesn't need to be. The Yogs people will take care of that, but his videos are great. You guys should watch them. They're fun. Good times.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. I went to a class at a high school.
I saw a picture on Facebook.
Yeah. I went on Wednesday. It was like a media technology kind of class. Kids that want to, do stuff on the internet and make video and do all this stuff. So I kept bringing up, it's interesting what they really keyed in on, like the things kids are into right now. Like they all have Vine accounts and think that stuff is awesome. That's one of the big deals right now. If you're 15, 16, that's a huge deal. Vine right now, that app. Second thing I learned is I said, who here has heard of the Yogs cast? Because I was trying to bring you up. And about, I don't know, 3 of the 30 or 40 kids raised their hands. And I thought that was low. So I said, who knows who Terpster is? And those same 3 people raised their hand, and they knew who you were. And I said, now, who here knows what the instance is? Way more hands.
Oh, really?
Now I just thought that was weird.
That's cool. No, that's cool, Scott. If you want to start a willy waving.
No. I just thought that was weird because I expected the exact opposite. Now I did ask everybody who knows who PewDiePie is. Every hand.
Oh yeah, they all knew that guy.
He's a very popular man.
Yeah, and so they all knew who that guy was.
Random, He's just so random.
And we talked about.
Hi, bros.
We talked about. That's basically it. And we talked about all that kind of stuff and what it takes to do some of those things and what it means to, be in a sea of people who can now make their own stuff, how to find the good stuff. And anyways, really fascinating conversation. And it was cool because it gave me a chance to talk about what we do in a place that may actually impact people in a positive way instead of just talking out of our ass. So it was nice.
And just so you know, Terpster, in high schools across Utah, you are not very popular.
No, they're not into it. Although I think they were. Here's what I think. I think that that crowd might be just above the Minecraft craze crowd. I think it's just below them where the real insanity starts to happen. It's the 14 and youngers who are just eating that crap up. And I bet if I went to Nick's class, his 14-year-old class, and said, "Hey, who's heard the Yogscast?" it would have been everybody. I really do think that.
Oh, let's hope.
Let's hope.
I feel a little bit upset. I might have to sit this one out.
Fair enough. Dills, anything going on with you? You got the angry chicken. You got the Nexus Tale.
Angry chicken's going really well. But we also have the Into the Nexus show. I want everyone to go check that out.
What big changes have happened in Hearthstone? Yeah. What have you chatted about?
Yeah.
Well, in Hearthstone, there's a lot of the talk now is centered around just some of the news coming out of Blizzard, like the fact that it's going to be $250,000 on the line for the World Championship at BlizzCon.
Mil. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. To make 200, you could make a share of $250K playing some Hearthstone.
Who's doing commentary? Have they announced that yet? They probably haven't yet.
They have not, but I'm going to guess they're probably going to go back with like Crip is really doing a lot of casting these days, and I think they liked what Total Biscuit did last time. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really talked to anybody at Blizzard to find out what they're doing, but
you should hint towards yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm available.
Guys,
I'll be there.
I know about the coin. And
I know it's not called the ring. Yeah.
And do the coin thing. And then I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, that was a misplay.
Yeah.
And
see, they want someone to call out the miss lethal, though, that happened last year, because the announcers just didn't even say it. But me and everybody around me were all like, he missed lethal. And we all went crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't want to do that. But this time it's not going to be a show tournament, with just casters. It's gonna streamers.
It's gonna be
be like the hardcore Hearthstone players. Yeah, like
it's gonna be that invitational thing was more like we're gonna see how this goes.
Well, it was still in beta. Not everybody had access. It was just we want to show off the game, and now it's like we want to see who the best of the best is.
$250K, dude. Jeez.
That's a lot of cheese, man.
Yeah, that'd be all right. That'd be all right.
All
right.
Might me actually stop just playing nothing but arena and give this a go.
Yeah, give it a shot. Why the hell not? Dude, you know what we would do if we got our own dills up on the damn stage? Do you know how we would celebrate that across the freaking universe? It'd be insane.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Plus, I mean, Dills, I can only think of about 10 ways that I could help you spend that money.
So,
if you need a guy to just be,
you're a regular Brewster's Millions over here. Jeez.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a guy to tell me good job, and he definitely deserves a salary. For
$50K for that.
Yeah, seem reasonable. Like $250K, exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, there's all that. Do check out our archives and all that stuff over at theinstance.net, everybody. Thank you for being here and listening, those live and those archive. It's always good to have you all. Matthew Oxley does our theme music on iTunes. You can leave us reviews, and we love that, so please do. Big thanks to our intern, Paul Swickard, who does our show notes. Find us on Twitter at Instance Show. You can find us on Facebook as well. Just search for us, and we're all over the place. Go to frogpants.com for more great shows like this. That's going to do it for us. Oh, and check out the new Diablo show episode this weekend, episode number 5. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, and thank you for helping that do well. We're creaming it with that show, and I don't know why. Anyway, be here or be square. That's it. We're done. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Oh, damn.
Oh, shit. I'm so glad you have that sound.
I am too, dude. It makes my day every time I play it.
Clearly Scott's favorite.
It is. I love it.
Cool.
What's not to love? Have a fantastic weekend, both of you.
Mm-hmm. And you.
And may all your legendaries be green. Because that's
that is.
Sacks be fanny.
Bye now.
Yeah.